Hey, y'all. What's up? Happy Thursday. Let me get my other phone real quick. What's going on, y'all? Where y'all at? Let me see. What's up? I'm actually about to make my my coffee. I'm about to make my coffee, but I want to come on here and talk to y'all about something while I do that. Because I have a few people asking me some questions. So I said, let me go live and just share it with everyone. So give me a minute. Let me get my coffee. I'm actually about to put an original detox tea in here with my coffee. I usually use the brew, but I just made my brew, so it has to steep. Let me put my instant. Let this melt a little bit. This thing be so messy, y'all. I'ma share some tips with y'all. Some people been asking me about pop-up shops, pop-up events. So I'm gonna share those with y'all in a minute. Let me put my chaga in here. This is how I make my coffee, y'all. So I usually use brewed tea or I use an instant original. Let me pause this because Instagram will probably flag it. Alright, and so I open my capsule, put my chaga in there. There's a fly in here. It's getting on my nerves. So I put chaga. Make sure I Google chaga. Put this back. But I had a few people message me a couple of different questions about like shipping on how like when I do my sales, my promos, and then I had a few people ask me about pop-up shops, like the setup, if they should sell actual products, or give out samples, like what they should do. So I'm gonna actually share a few tips for pop-up shops that that I know that I did. I can only speak on what I did and what worked for me. I'm gonna add my Delgada Slimming weight loss coffee. I have my brewed tea in here already. Add my coffee. Got my chaga. I love this coffee. Let me put some water because the tea is already in there. So it's brewed tea. It's instant tea basically. Add me some cream. And then let me finish making this and I'll give y'all some tips while I'm just sipping on my coffee. This cup right here, I'm scared that it's gonna splash out. So, with the pop-up shops, okay, the first thing, because people like, how do you find them? Where do you, how do you know what pop-up shops are going on? Me personally, I use Facebook to find pop-ups. I haven't used Instagram to find any. So Facebook, I'm in a couple of Facebook groups. So I do suggest that you join some Facebook groups. Vendor events, whatever city you're in for your city. Like I'm in vendor events in Georgia, vendor events in Atlanta, like different vendor events. And then most people, you still got to be careful because some people scam you. Like they may take your vendor fee and then be out, whatever. But you'll get a feel of it, get a feel for the groups, and you can see like past, events that those vendors have done that people have been a vendor at, and they'll vouch for them. So go and get in some groups for your areas. Find events that way. That's what worked for me. You might can find them on Eventbrite as well. I have looked on Eventbrite for like events, and then they'll say vendors, looking for vendors. So, and then as far as most of them have vendor fees, I usually don't go over a vendor fee of like $50 to $75 at the most. That's just me, my preference, because if I'm gonna pay more, then I need to know that I'm gonna have a good result. Like there's good traffic. Like how are you want to ask them, like look at their flyers. Like how are y'all promoting? What area is it in? Is it good, public footwork. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you're looking for pop-up shops and vendor events, like you want to make sure that they're promoting the event, right? Because you don't want to pay a vendor fee and go there, set up and everything, and then there's like 10 people that show up. Like, so you want to make sure that they're actually, you know, promoting the event well. They actually had, if they've done it before, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's something that they do every month, then you can try to see like, you know, what the traction is there, right? The footwork. And then with like vendor events, like you could be an outside vendor or inside vendor. Like you want to make sure that you're in a good spot. So those are key things that I look at before I actually say or pay the vendor fee. And again, I only do a vendor fee like $25, $50, at the most $75 if I'm doing it myself. Sometimes I'll go in with like a business partner. But if it's a vendor fee like $100 or more, like you really want to make sure that it's going to be worth you paying that fee. Like, where's the location? Like, is it somewhere that's out in the cut and like people aren't going to see it? Like, is it somewhere where like, people might be driving by in the street and they see it and they stop? So all that factors in that I look for, you know, vendor events to be, you know, to do pop-up shops. So a few people asked me about that. You also asked me about the setup, right? So once I pay my vendor fee, I have my own flyer created. Like you can use the people's flyer, but I have my own flyer created, right? And on a flyer, you can either have yourself and your products and say, hey, I'm going to be here, pop-up shop, other vendors will be there. If you want to put the other vendors on the flyer, you can, so that they know like, oh, they might want someone that's selling here, or they might want someone that's doing something else, right? That has whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever vendor it might be, paparazzi, whoever, you know what I'm saying? They might want to do that, right? So that entice them to come see you and, you know, see that there's going to be other vendors and not just you there, right? But I did have my own flyer because I didn't like how their flyer looked. So that's just me. That's my preference. I suggest going on Fiverr. You know, you can pay $5, $10 for a flyer on Fiverr. So that's a tip right there for y'all as well, right? So once I pay my vendor fee, I get my flyer, I start promoting it myself as well, because they're going to promote you also on their flyer, but I also promote it myself so people know that I'm there, so, you know, my audience can see that this is where I'm going to be. So that's how I was able to have people, you know, come to the pop-up shop because they knew I was going to be there, right? So you want to start promoting your event, promoting the pop-up shop, letting them know you're going to be there. Sorry, y'all. I cannot let my Delgada get cold. But promote the event, and then, you know, basically to prepare for the event, make sure you have whatever products that you want to have set up on your table. I got a black table, a nice black tablecloth. I think it was from Walmart, like $20. Or if you want to get a branded one or have TLC put on it or whatever your business is, because this can be for any business, right? So you want to make sure that you have your setup, right? Some vendor events, some hosts, they'll have the table already there for you and the chairs, but some of them will tell you that you have to provide your own. So I bought my own 6-foot table, and I bought my own black tablecloth, and I bought my own 2 fold-up chairs, because normally when you do a vendor event, a pop-up shop, you have to have, it's usually 2 chairs, right? So I had brought my own 2 folding chairs, nice chairs, comfortable with some cushion, because you'd be sitting there, you walk around. And I bought my own 6-foot table. I think I got my table and my chairs. No, I got my table from Walmart, and I got my chairs from Target, I believe. And I think the chairs was like $25 each, maybe 30 each. I don't know. I think 30 each, and the table was like $45. So, but it's an investment, right? Another tax write-off, right, for having a home-based business, right? So keep your receipts, right? So I bought my own table, my chairs, so that if I do vendor events where they don't provide it, at least I have my own, right? So the first vendor event that y'all seen me do, I brought everything. Like, they didn't provide nothing, so I had to bring my own table. I brought my own chairs. I have my own banner. I suggest, if you can't afford it, to invest in a banner, you know, the stand-up banner. I do say to invest in that. That's a good investment. It brings attention to your table so people can know, you know, who you are. It has your information. Well, mine has my information on it. It has my name. It has my Instagram. It has my website. It has my phone number, right? And then it has, you know, information so that they can see it on the banner. So when people come to the pop-up shops, they can walk by and know what you have. It'll attract them to your table, right? And so they'll stop at your table and ask, say, hey, what is this? What is that? 9 times out of 10, most people, if for TLC, most people know what it is. Sometimes they don't. A lot of people, I had to explain what the stuff was, right? So you want to make sure you have like your top selling products out, right? Because you never know what people are have already seen or have, you know, heard about or whatever. So of course I had my NutriBurst sea moss, I had all the teas, I had the Delgada, I had NRG, I had Chewy. I had mostly all of our products out, like the matrix, like the major products, right? And I, you know, you just want to set them up neat. Don't overcrowd your table. Make it look nice. Make it look professional, right? Set up everything so that people can see it. They'll be like, oh, that looks different. What's that? Oh, this tea is this. What's this? Right? Oh, what's that? You know, so people can see everything, you know, a little bit of everything. Don't put like 50 million products on the table, but put like your heavy hitter products on the table. I did have samples out, like I had some individual packs out on the table as well so that they can take as samples. I had, you know, samples of the instant, samples of the lemon. I had samples of Delgada. I had samples of sea moss. I had samples of the NutriBurst on the table. So like people love free, right? So I was like, yeah, sure, take one, take a couple. Here, give it to your husband, you know? So I gave out samples. I had my business cards, which let me see if I got some right here. Shit, because my purse is right here. I have, where did you get your banners from? I got it from a company that's on Instagram. I can, I'll put it in the comments. Quick Prints TLC. They don't do the ones that I have now no more because they can't brand TLC, I believe. Quick Prints TLC is who I use. Quick Print. I don't know. Let me see. At Quick Print. I think it's Quick Prints TLC. But they do still have banners. They sell banners. They sell a lot of different stuff. But I have my business cards, right? I actually got my business cards from them too. I get all my stuff from them. So I have my business cards on the table with the sample. So if they took a sample, I gave them a business card, right? So all this is while I'm at the pop-up shop. I made sure I got there early and I got a good spot in the front. Like when they first came in the front door, boom, I was right there and I was next to the bathroom, which is good. But I had like a whole picture. It's over there. I had a picture of, let me see if I can get it. I had a picture, this right here, of brew tea. So this was full with brew tea so people can experience the tea. And I had little cups, right? Like cups like this little, so that they can, you know, have an experience maybe within 15 minutes, maybe an hour. So everybody's body is different, right? But they got to taste the tea, right? And then they still had, you know, they was able to grab samples. I had the lemon, I had raspberry and instant out, I had Delgada out. All those was like laid out so that they can take one and try it, along with the NutriBurst and the sea moss. So a lot of people ended up wanting to buy. Some people, they already knew about it, so they wanted boxes of the NutriBurst. Like I had products on hand also to sell, right? So I put some on the table so that they can see everything, ask questions. And then I had some underneath the table products on hand that if they wanted to buy a whole month supply, they can. Another thing that I did, because somebody also messaged me. I'm doing this live because people messaged me and asked me about the pop-up shops and like how I do my shipping, when I do like my deals, like when I do these mixed packs and things like that. So another thing with the pop-up shop, I did a raffle, right? So you could get like raffle ticket things at the dollar store. Trying to drink my Delgada because it's gonna get cold. So yeah, y'all seen my banner before. I would show it, but it's in the living room. I did a raffle, so I had raffle tickets, you know, like the regular carnival raffle tickets. I did those. You could buy like a whole big circle of it for like $1, $2 at the dollar store, right? Get you some raffle tickets. So I sold the raffle tickets $2 for a raffle ticket, and I raffled off a bag of lemon CBD tea. This girl wanted some lemon. She wanted the lemon tea so bad, like for cheap, because it was still going to be a deal, right? She bought like, I think she bought like 15 raffle tickets. So she paid $30 in raffle tickets. She was like, I'm going to buy 5 for my mother. I'm going to buy 5 for my boyfriend and 5 for me, right? So she bought 15 raffle tickets. She's like, I don't care. She's like, no, ain't nobody else going to have a chance. Like a few other people, like the vendors and some of the, you know, the people that came in to shop at the pop-up shop, you know, bought tickets as well. So at the end, you know, we did an announcement. We pulled, I did, you know, shook up the bag, and she did end up winning the bag of lemon CBD tea. So she did get the bag of CBD tea. And then I raffled off something else. I think I raffled, but you know, you make it fun, right? You bring the excitement, bring people to your table. Like that's the thing, is like go, stand up, talk to people. I had a sign on there for, a big sign on my whiteboard. I had it in the front of my table, free samples, come get your free samples. So people like free. When they see the word free, it draws their eyes to you, right? So when you do the vendor events, just make sure that you're doing whatever you can to get people to your table. Like I said in the beginning, for those that left, for those that just come on, make sure before you even pay the vendor fee that they're promoting it where there's going to be, it's being promoted well. Because you don't want to go and then the vendors, it's just you and all the other vendors just sitting there looking at each other and y'all shopping on each other's table, which is still fine, right? Because you're networking with other business people. You never know. They might want another extra stream of income. So that's definitely another key. Make sure you go to the tables. Like I had someone with me because I'm not leaving my products, right? So I had a few people with me. So, someone was able to sit at my table and I went to other people's tables and I networked. One of the ladies used to be in TLC, but now she makes like her own bracelets and things, but she used to be in TLC, but she was like, oh, I need NutriBurst. I need this, right? So, network, because you never know what you can link up and maybe y'all could do a joint party together because you're two different businesses, right? You never know what you can do. So network with other people because they might need an extra stream of income. Let them know like, hey, you're doing this, but you can also come over here and make an extra stream of income, right? So while you're at your vendor events, don't just stay at your table, walk around if you can. If you have someone with you, walk around, get to know people, get their cards, give them your card, right? Like I said, give out your card. Make sure you got your cards on your table that has all your products. Make sure you got your samples out. Make sure you let people know, if you want to do deals, right? If you're there and people want to buy a month's supply, you might want to do a deal, right? You might want to sell the tea for $50 instead of $60, or $40, right? You want to do deals, right, while you're at your vendor event. So I think that answers most questions that people ask me about pop-up shops, because a few people had asked me in my DMs. So I was like, let me just go live and then I could save this and y'all can, have this to reflect back on. So I did mention that the way that I find events, I go through Facebook. Right, I'm in some Facebook groups, so I'm in groups you could just do vendor events in whatever city you're in, vendor events in New Orleans, vendor events in Savannah, right? I'm in vendor events in Georgia. I think I'm in that group, and I think I'm in one that says vendor events in Atlanta to kind of narrow it down. So I'm in a few groups, and then people post, the host, whoever's hosting the events, they post, and it's ones on different days. There's one for different fees. They're saying they're looking for different types of vendors. So you just got to go through. And like I said, I only do vendor fees. It's $25, $50, maybe $75. When it gets to over $75, then I need to make sure that there's going to be traffic. There's one that was the vendor fee was I think $125, but it was going to be at the convention center, right? So the convention center is huge, but that doesn't mean a lot of people's going to come, right? I need to see how have y'all been promoting? I ask questions. Where has it been promoted? How have y'all been promoted? What was your average turnout the last time you did this event, if they've done it before, right? So most serious hosts, they know the information. They be like, look, we had 1,000 to 3,000 people come out last time. Okay, then I'll pay the $125 fee, right? For the vendor event, because more than likely, even if only one or two people buy something, I'm still going to be good because I'm going to network. I'm going to give out samples. I'm going to give out my business cards, all that, right? People will come back, right? So just be careful because some people do be trying to scam, right? So sometimes they will try to scam and be like, oh, this vendor event's way in August. I'm not paying for no vendor event way in August, right? So I try to get vendor events that's the same month or the next month, right? I don't go past a month out. So if I see vendor events posted for June or July, then I'll, pay the vendor fees for those. So that gives me time so I can promote it as well and make sure they're promoting it. So you want to make sure that the host has a nice flyer. They should be adding you on their flyer. Most times once you pay, they'll add you on the flyer to promote you. But I also get my own flyer made so that, my audience know this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to be at this pop-up shop. I'm doing this vendor event, right? So those are the major things that I would say about doing pop-up events. Making sure that you have enough products on hand just in case people want to buy. Make sure you have samples out, right? Make sure you have your business cards. If you have the banner, I have my banner that draws people in, that brings people to your table, right? So have that. Have it where they can taste it. I had little bottles of water, so if they wanted to open the instant and try it, they could. So I bought the little, I think it was 10-ounce water bottles. I bought like 3 cases of those, but I also had brewed tea in here in little cups so that they can taste the brewed tea. So you just want people to be able to have an experience and be able to actually, feel or get an effect from your products right there at the event. So I think that answers everything. How to find pop-ups, what to bring, if you should sell or sample. Because somebody asked me if you should sell products or sample. I told her I do both, right? I just showed y'all, like, I had all samples out on my table. Like, there were samples for each tea, the Delgada, the sea moss, and the NutriBurst. That's what I had as samples. And I made sure I had my business cards right there. If you take a sample, you got to take my card, right? But you also want to have a notebook if possible, if you can, because I know sometimes people be like quick, but get people's name and number, right? Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. Get people's name and number, because just because they take your card doesn't mean that they're going to contact you. They could lose it. You never know what could happen, right? So I had my 1000 Families journal, my notebook there, and was trying to get, people's name and number, especially with the raffle. That's a good way to get their info without getting their info, without them knowing that you're getting their info. You know what I'm saying? Because they think they're just doing it for the raffle, right? So I had people write their name and their phone number, at least their name and phone number, right? Hopefully the number's good. But if they write their name and phone number, and then maybe have them put their email, if they do, everybody don't like to put their email, right? But at least in a notebook. So you tell them, hey, if you want to sign up for the raffle, get a free bag. Let's just say this, because I was raffling lemon CBD tea. So let's just say this is the tea. If you want to get a free bag of the lemon CBD tea, I'm doing a raffle. Raffle tickets are $2. Write your name, number, and email, right? And so that you can have their contact info, because again, just because they take your card doesn't mean that they're going to use it, right? So this is a good way to capture their information by doing a raffle, right? Because then people like free stuff, right? So they're going to put their information and want to learn and want to win, right? So I did the raffle right there on the spot. Like at the end of my pop-up shop, we did an announcement with the microphone, and I shook it up in the bag, all the raffle tickets that was in there, and pulled it out, and she won, right? The lady won. And then I raffled off something else. I think I raffled off, like I said, off a 1 week supply of the brewed tea as well. So just get creative how to capture people's information when you're doing the pop-up shops, the vendor events. Make your table look nice and simple, like not too crowded, but have a few of each product, right? Of our top products, the teas, the Delgada, the sea moss, the NutriBurst. Have those out, right? I had the matrix, the chocolate matrix, and I had the vanilla matrix there as well. You never know who might like shake. Some people don't like tea. Some people don't like coffee. Some people like shakes, right? So I had to make sure that the shakes was out there, right? So you want to do something that's going to bring people to say, oh, what's that? A lot of people know NutriBurst. It was like, oh, I've seen that before. I've seen that. What is it, though? What exactly does it do? They see it, but they don't know what it is, right? So this is definitely a way to get, information out to the people when you're doing the pop-up events, right? So I definitely strongly encourage everyone to at least try to do one pop-up every month if you can, or every other month, right? They definitely are beneficial. I wanted to do this live because a lot of people had DM'd me recently and after my pop-up before that I did. They were asking me different questions. So I wanted to do this video so that y'all can reflect back on here. I told y'all how I find my events. I told y'all how I prepare for the event, how I get my own flyer made, how I get my products, make sure I invest in my inventory, have on hand, make sure I have samples. What else? And then, the things that I do while I'm at the actual event. So hopefully that gives y'all an idea, a better breakdown as far as how I did mine. It was definitely great. I'm actually looking to do another one. I'm trying to do one this month, but I got so much going on. We're going, different events in Florida and things like that with Coach, and then things with my church. So I'm going to try to do one for June, probably with some of my business partners that's here in Atlanta as well. We're going to do one together. But if not, I'm definitely going to be doing one in July. So I'll definitely go live. I went live when I was at the last one, but I'll definitely go live and I'll keep y'all updated on the process. But yes, get out there, y'all. Do some pop-up shop. Do some vendor events. I look on Facebook. Like I told y'all, I'm in different groups on Facebook. So wherever you want to, you can look on Eventbrite as well for vendor events and on Eventbrite. That's another place that I look. So Get out there, find a vendor event. You know, you will have most likely a vendor fee. I told y'all the max that I do for my vendor fee. You might have to invest in a 6-foot table. Most of them want you to have a 6-foot table and 2 chairs, like fold-up chairs. Some of them provide it for you, but some of them don't. So I just went ahead and invested, got my own 6-foot table, got my own 2 folding chairs, got my own, you know, nice long tablecloth for my table, and that's it. I already have my banner and all that, so I'm good. So hopefully this video helped y'all. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comments. Once I post this, I'll share this to my IG, so that y'all can rewatch it if you need to from the beginning, because I see a lot of people jumped on at the end. But if you want to watch the beginning, I gave some more information there. But I will save this. If you have any other questions, you can either DM me or you can ask in the comments, and I'll be happy to help y'all and give y'all whatever information I have that might can help. All right, so thank y'all. Let me go enjoy my Delgada because it's probably cold by now, right? So yeah, go watch this again, y'all. All right, let's go. Let's make this money. Don't leave no money on the table. All right, thank y'all.